What's happening, guys? Today I'm taking you with me. We're going food shopping, and I'm going to give you plenty of tips how to eat healthy and how to save money too. Let's do it. So my first tip about eating healthy is you need to pick and choose which supermarkets you go to, all right? I don't really like to go to Coles because the first thing that happens is when you walk into Coles, you walk into their bakery, so it smells like donuts and pastries. And when you break down a Coles store, there's a very small section for fruit and veg. There's a massive section for their bakery, and then there's lots of aisles for their junk food. And places like Woolies are kind of the same. I mean, they've got a little bit bigger section for fruit and veg. They usually have like a health food aisle, which is good, but it's kind of a little bit misleading as well. One I do recommend, Aldi is pretty good. So they have a pretty big fruit and veg section. They have a lot of weird different kind of brands as it comes to their normal aisles, so you don't tend to buy as much junk food. But where I always go for my weekly shop is Spud Shed, and for two reasons. Firstly, it supports local farmers and local grocers, so that's good. And the other reason is why their fruit and veg section is massive. It's literally a fruit and veg shop that also has other stuff like your regular aisles. So if you have all that fruit and veg, you're more likely to buy fruit and veg as opposed to when you're at Coles and Woolies where they have aisles and aisles of junk food. You're gonna just end up buying more junk food. So that's why I go to Spud Shed. Also, all their biggest specials and savings are all on those fruit and veg. Most weeks I can get a whole kilo of carrots for 70 cents. So of course you're gonna buy a kilo of carrots. I also get 3 big heads of broccoli for $2, or 3 big zucchinis for $2. And all kinds of other specials where you're saving lots of money buying fruit. When you see those specials, you're attracted to buying those things, whereas Coles and Woolies, they put their junk food on special. You can buy a massive block of chocolate for $2.50 or something, while you end up buying a big massive block of chocolate. Let's go. Another thing you can keep in mind when you're shopping is you know how much treats and junk food you eat during a week. So there's no point lying to yourself and buying absolutely no treats, because you know within 48 hours you're going to be heading down to the deli and spending heaps of money on chocolate and chips and junk. So look, don't go crazy and buy heaps of junk food, but if you know you eat a certain amount, then you can always buy a little bit less and see if that will help you eat a little bit less junk food. Like me personally, I buy my big bag of pretzels, and that satisfies my savory craving for the whole week. That whole bag will last me about 9 days, so it'll actually last me into the next week a little bit, and that satisfies my savory craving for the whole week. So I don't mind eating that. Saves me going to the shops 5 times on 5 separate occasions to buy a bag of chips or buy something savory. I don't have a big sweet tooth per se, because I usually buy a packet of biscuits, and I'll have a biscuit or 2 with my afternoon coffee to satisfy a little bit of a sweet craving. So I mean, I don't eat 100% clean, and that's great if you do, but I think the majority of the population, you know you're gonna eat junk food, so that's fine. Just limit it a bit. Don't tell yourself, oh, I'm never gonna eat another bit of junk food ever again, because you're just lying to yourself, and when you fall off, you can fall off really hard and end up binging even more. So better off, you know, buy some junk food, get some things you know you're going to want to eat, and then you're good to go. The only time I would recommend against that is if you buy 2 blocks of chocolate and a packet of chips and some biscuits, and you eat all of that in the first day, like you eat all your junk food because it's there, okay, maybe then that's not a good idea to buy all your junk food at your weekly shop. Maybe you need to buy it bit by bit if you can't help yourself. But otherwise, buy it like that. And another good thing you can do is instead of buying like one of those massive bags of chips, and if you're someone that once you open that bag and start eating it, you can't stop, is get like those multi-packs. So you get 12 little bags of chips, and that way you can open that big old bag and you can have a serve or 2 and then you're done. You're not eating a huge bag in one sitting because you feel like you have to finish that bag, otherwise the chips are going to go stale or whatever. So if you can't really help yourself when it comes to big bags, then go those little multi-packs where you get a whole heap of little ones. You're just having a better portion size that way. My biggest tip for things to stay away from is, think of it this way, things that are a lot of calories that don't fill you up, right? So food that's not really food. The best example is like a can of Coke, all right? Or a can of soft drink, right? Because, and you can argue that, oh yeah, I feel a bit full when I have a whole can, but that's really just the bubbles filling you up a little bit. And like if I gave you a can of Coke for lunch, how long until you're gonna wanna eat some actual food? So you're having like a meal worth of calories because there's so much sugar in soft drink cans, but it's not filling you up. So try and stay away from things like that. So things like lollies, I guess, and things like soft drinks are worse because calorie. So as you can see, we got plenty of food, and I do buy a few other items throughout the week as I need it, but this is mostly what I get. The one thing I didn't get this week was eggs, but I do have some extra from last week. So I've got my spinach, my broccoli was only $1, got some mushrooms, zucchini was $1 each, some bananas, $1 for all these cherry tomatoes, got my milk, got some frozen berries, these are great. I got some apples, nuts, hot sauce, quick oats for about $1 for that whole kilo bag, which is great value. Some mission wraps because I don't really like having bread. I do find wrap bread agrees me a little bit better. I got some tuna, pretzels, that's my little treat. I have a little bit every day. Coconut juice, and 4 beans mix, which is a really great way to fill up my wraps and make them a little bit more interesting. They're about $1.50 each, they were real cheap. Well, that's a wrap for today's food shopping video. And if you're interested in seeing more nutrition-based videos, hit that like button and we'll see you in the next one.